Y'all remember that guy who was gonna die before The Rise of Skywalker came out, and his dying wish was to see the movie with his son? That poor guy, I hope he liked it. I know shitting on this movie was so 5 years ago, but there's nothing wrong with beating a dead horse. Like, it's been dead for a goddamn century, but I still want to have fun. I remember the day I went to go see it, J.J. Abrams was directing it because the other guy was too fucking chicken shit to do it. And the only movie I ever saw from JJ was The Force Awakens, so I was confident as hell the movie was gonna be good. My only source of information on the movie were the trailers, and that's it. I saw no reviews from people who seen it. The only thing I had going into this movie were hopes and fucking dreams. I remember liking it back then, but the more and more time went on, the less and less I started to like this movie. And it's been 5 years now, and it's gotten to the point where I almost fucking hate this movie. And it's crazy too, because I used to be a D1 Disney dick rider. I would go above and beyond defending these movies, and by that I mean I would argue hours on end with losers on Instagram comment sections. I was fucking weird, bro. I recently got done watching all 3 sequel movies, and they do got their fair share of problems. I still do like the other 2. I used to love The Last Jedi. It used to be my #1, but after this goddamn movie, I wish we had something else. I still think we got good concepts for a great story, but the lack of a fucking plan and 2 directors taking the story in 2 completely different fucking directions had led us to this fucking mess of a movie. And I'm very fucking confident I could have wrote something a million times better than this. I mean, I don't hate everything about the movie, at least not yet. The acting was great given what they were given, because the dialogue in this movie is probably worse than any other Star Wars movie, and that's a bold ass fucking statement when you look at the garbage that George Lucas wrote. People will talk shit about the humor in this movie, but I like it.
Oh, they fly now! They fly now? They fly now!
I actually laughed at most of the jokes. Most of them. And C-3PO carries this fucking movie. I love every single one of his scenes in the movie. He just carries. He's just so funny, and I'm glad they actually did something with him and Chewie, because for the past 2 movies they've been fucking bench warmers, and it's nice to see Abrams treat the characters with the fucking respect they need.
You don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
And I thought the sound design and the music was great. Like, some of the shots are cool, but don't think too much about what's going on, because none of it will make any fucking sense. Now I'm going over the shit I hate. I'm not gonna go over everything because the video would be 10 hours long. I'm just gonna cherry pick at the shit that just drives me feral. The plot. If you played Ratchet and Clank, you've watched this movie. You've watched The Rise of Skywalker. It's the same shit. Go to this planet, get this thing. Go to another planet to get this thing. To be able to go to another planet to get this thing. And then do that until you fight the final boss. This is fine in a comedic ass platformer game, but what the fuck is the last movie of a $4 billion saga doing using generic indie game plot formula? I mean, I like one of the new planets we go to, Kijimi. I mean, too bad they blew it the fuck up 10 minutes later, but from what I saw of it, I actually liked it. Oh yeah, Star Wars has another planet killing machine. What the fuck? We've been seeing this shit since the goddamn 70s. Are we running out of ideas here? I mean, it looks cool and everything, but like I said before, don't ask yourself why to anything in this movie, because none of the shit makes sense. Why does the Emperor have a whole ass fleet of ships that have weapons capable of destroying other planets? I mean, it made sense in the originals in The Force Awakens. They were using them to destroy the opposing side and using them as an interrogation tactic. There's no fucking way Palpatine needs to use these to destroy his opposition, because the whole fucking resistance contains like 50 people. He's literally just destroying planets because he said so. And nobody can convince me that he was supposed to come back. Nobody. JJ can say what the fuck he wants to say. Oh, this was the plan from the beginning. Nah. You might be fooling yourself, but you ain't fooling me. You got a better chance of convincing me Doja Cat has a crush on me, other than getting me to believe that the Emperor was supposed to come back. I mean, it's so funny, the movie doesn't even try to explain this shit. Like, I've read online he's a clone or something, but I really couldn't be bothered to search that up. It just sounds so stupid. I mean, he looks cool though. He looks like a zombie.
The dark side is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
I mean, that's cool and all, but what do you eat? What do your goons in the audience and the thousands of troops that came out of nowhere eat? Because I seen Exegol, it looks dead as hell. Like, there's absolutely nothing here. How are y'all surviving? Whatever. Like I said, don't ask yourself why to anything. And one other thing, am I fucking colorblind or what? Because the movie is so fucking blue. I can't see shit. I can't make out what the fuck is going on in the third act. Everything's just so blue and black. I can't see nothing. Like, look at this. For a second, I thought my goddamn screen turned off. And this goes on for like 30 fucking minutes. There's a million ships flying around. I can't focus. And the shit that I can make out is stupid. I rewatched this part 10 times to try and get a good understanding of what's going on. So Palpatine wants Rey to kill him so his spirit can possess her body. Kylo Ren comes along, yeah, because he's a good guy all of a sudden. And something happens with them being a duad in the Force. And he starts sucking the life out of both of them. And they get very weak. And then Palpatine throws Kylo off the edge. And the Jedi start calling out to Rey. And that gives her enough strength to just stand up, hold 2 lightsabers, so Palpatine's dumbass can kill himself. Rey dies, and somehow Kylo isn't dead because what the fuck? And he gives his life to Rey, and they share a really awkward ass kiss, and then Kylo dies. I swear to God, this is something I probably would have made up playing with action figures. Matter of fact, it probably is. I swear, JJ was in my goddamn window the other day just taking notes because I'm not lying when I say JJ's trying to please everyone. Even those 15-year-old Reylo fans, this is so hard to watch. I literally had to look away from the screen while watching this. If there's one thing this movie could have benefited without, it was this damn kiss. We have the granddaughter of Palpatine and the grandson of Vader. If this was the plan from the start, which it wasn't, it could have been something so cool, but it came to this. And the biggest thing everybody talks about is Rey all of a sudden being a Palpatine. Bro, one of my favorite parts of The Last Jedi was that moment between Rey and Kylo talking about her parents. They were nobody. She came from nothing. Kylo even says they were filthy junk traders. They sold you out for drinking money. And now Kylo's like, actually, they chose to be nobody to protect you because you're a Palpatine. What the fuck? That whole theme from The Last Jedi, you don't have to be related to anyone to achieve greatness. You don't have to be related to a powerful Force user to be a Force user. That shit doesn't fucking matter anymore now, does it? Look, Rey went from wanting to know her parents to finding out they were nobody to finding out they were a Palpatine, and at the very end she calls herself a fucking Skywalker. We lost the plot 5 years ago. And another thing that this movie does that actually it genuinely pisses me off. It's not specific to this movie, but I just hate when movies do this, and this movie happens to do this shit a lot.
Knights of Ren. Cool.
When a character's on screen and something happens, I guess the director thinks we're too fucking retarded to understand what's going on, so it has another character to say what's happening. Thank you, Stormtrooper, for telling me who these guys were. I thought they were the goddamn Backstreet Boys. Actually, I bet people did forget who the fuck these guys were. Because they did nothing. They're actually fucking useless. Why the hell are they in this movie?
Well, see, actually, if you would have read the book...
Shut the fuck up. Out of all the useless side characters in the history of ever, I swear to God, on my life, the Knights of Ren have to be top 10. All they do is stand there, menacingly. Here go the Knights of Ren. Are they gonna do anything? Nope. Here go the Knights of Ren. Are they gonna do anything? No. Here they go again. Are they gonna do anything? Here they go again. Are they gonna do anything? Yeah, get their asses kicked. Like, they're genuinely useless. I don't see the point of them being in this movie aside from pleasing the fans who've been begging to see them. Oh my God. All this stupid bitch does in this movie is stand around and make scenes awkward and state the fucking obvious. Like, we already fucking know what's going on. And why the hell are you talking to R2-D2 about this? And how the fuck do you know what she's doing? It's so awkward. This is just an indirect way of trying to explain to the audience because JJ thinks we're all fucking stupid. Other than that, I thought Leia's death was done pretty good. Alright, you know what? I can kind of get behind this one. Even though this is such an unnatural thing to say, I can get why this was put there because the fans would have thought Han was a Force ghost. Oh my fucking God, they do anyway. Like, Kylo appearing out of thin air in this scene just irks me. Like, we had Rey conveniently line this ancient dagger up to 40-year-old garbage, climb hundreds of feet to reach this area, and Kylo just spawns here. Like, what? No footsteps or the sound of his ship. Nothing. I was talking to somebody about this, and he was trying to be a smartass and defend this movie, and he was like,
I don't know. Maybe because he's a Force user and she's a Force user, and he knows where she is.
No. Force users just can't use the Force to pinpoint other Force users. It doesn't work like that. Because if that was the case, Darth Vader would have done that shit all those years he was hunting Jedi, instead of hiring a bunch of incompetent Inquisitors. Like, if that was the case, he just would have pulled up to Obi-Wan's house while he was asleep and would have been like,
"Gotcha, bitch."
So yeah, that's not the case. JJ just needed Kylo in this scene, but he didn't feel like writing a good reason for him to be there. So he just had him spawn in. Let's talk about Finn. Oh my god, he was wasted. He was easily one of the best parts about The Force Awakens, but in the next two movies, his only character trait was screaming, "Rey!
Right!
I'm just here to get Ray. I'll go in and try to find Ray. The troopers will be on our tail.
Right! Right!
And when the movie even toys around with the idea of doing something with him, Rey starts running off being a bitch. The movie just refuses to slow down and get anything done with Finn or this new girl, which is sad because it's probably my favorite part of the movie. I mean, it's actually criminal what they did to him for the past two movies, bro. Lock their asses up. And why the fuck are you still trying to do your little mystery box storytelling? Look, we're 3 movies deep and no direction of where we're going. Bro, JJ, lock the fuck in. It is too late to be pulling this goddamn bullshit, trying to set up mystery like we have time for that. I know Finn was trying to say he was sensitive with the Force, but deadass in the movie theater, I thought he was going to say some shit like "I love you" or "I have a crush on you" or something like that. I mean, with this cringe dog shit ass movie, anything flies. I mean, speaking of cringe, Luke acts like a Sesame Street character in this movie. He's here for 2 reasons. Fan service shit regarding Leia and the Force. I mean, I know fans wanted to see this, but personally, it's just lame as hell. And trying to rewrite The Last Jedi. I mean, say what you want about Luke in The Last Jedi, but at least he was a character. One that you didn't like, but he was still a character. If I were to ask ChatGPT, write Luke Skywalker helping Rey overcome her fears, this is exactly what ChatGPT would have wrote. All his segments feel like a video game cutscene. It's so whack. And the last time Rey saw Luke, she goddamn held a lightsaber up to his ass. What are they looking all happy like they were the bestest of friends? If you don't face Palpatine, it will be the end of the Jedi. Yo, Luke, what's the deal with the 180? Last movie, your whole gimmick was, it's time for the Jedi to end. And now you're over here giving pep talks about saving the Jedi? What? JJ's a straight punk bitch for doing this. It would have been way better to just double down on The Last Jedi instead of trying to do a 180 and just rewrite the whole fucking thing, because it just leaves the awkward scenes like this. It's painfully obvious how much he was trying to undo what Ryan did in The Last Jedi. But unless you have a time machine, the worst thing you could try to do is rewrite that shit, because what's done is done. I hate the fact that Rey just pulls these powers from her ass, like force healing. Where the fuck did she learn that? Luke didn't teach her that. He didn't teach her a fucking thing.
She learned it from the books.
Alright, well, how the fuck does Kylo know how to do it then? See, that's what I mean. Don't think too much about nothing in this movie, because none of it will make sense. Them having Rey heal Kylo's lightsaber wound to the stomach just fucks up all of Star Wars, because why didn't Qui-Gon just tell Obi-Wan, hit me with some of that force heal? And it would have prevented the entire original trilogy from happening. When you have 40 years worth of story, you got 40 years worth of lore, you gotta be real fucking careful of what you implement, because one small thing can create a million different plot holes. In conclusion, this movie is just a prime example of, if you aim to please everyone, you end up pleasing nobody. This movie's filled to the brim with piss poor dialogue, cheap fan service, dumb decisions, and wasted potential. And it's only gonna get worse and worse as time goes on. Let's just hope that new Rey movie's gonna be good, because I think that's our last hope.